Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going over, you've guessed it, the new updated tier list, my thoughts on it, basically my thoughts, the video, with a little bit of meme cuckage in here as well. Can I say that in the first 15 seconds of a YouTube video? Probably not, we got demonetized. That girl with the butt cheek photo is probably gonna comment on this video though again. Anyway, quick look, we're gonna be covering the new characters, Liliam. She's got her own dedicated video, maybe that one came up before this one, you can go check that one out. And the new SR character in the form of Nilu. All right, the changelog here, let's see what they say. Also, all the buffed characters will be in here, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So Liliam, PvP, Liliam doesn't fit into the traditional AoE cleave teams. True, but has shown her place in bruiser teams as a foil to many top strategies being used right now. It's clear players are still learning where and when to deploy her, but she's already displayed enough potential to earn in a tier 1. And I think, they also say potential to move higher in the future. I think she's at least tier 0.5, if not tier 0, just for the sheer flexibility of the big 3 builds that she has, whether it's going to be the big one that I'm using right now, which is probably the worst one, which is the super speedy anti-problem child thing, get that thing out of here, White Fang build that goes right through Valerian, no, they can't save their Masia, it's done, you're done, son. That also can apply pressure by stunning the entire team, or at least stunning one character right away with her S2. You also have the Count build, and then you have the Lighthouse build. Those are going to be the 3 big builds for this character. What build is best is dependent on, not necessarily best on paper, it's best on how you have your RTA sort of strategy, right? How bruiser are you? How tempo oriented are you? You'll find a place for her somewhere, and so that means that those lattices you put into her aren't going to waste. You will find a spot for her somewhere at some point in PvP, and she's able to be flexible and moved around, even if you want to change your playstyle eventually. So that's gonna be very good there. PvE doesn't stand out, doesn't work at all that well in a lot of different circumstances and scenarios. We said that as well when we first covered her. I know it was a little bit maybe over memey for you guys, but PvE, she's not really a PvE unit. She's probably very similar to Hoyin and is getting the same response that Hoyin did when she was released by the majority of the player base, except yours truly and maybe a handful of other people. A character that takes big investment, good gear, and you need to know how to use her in the right scenarios. We saw the Epic 7 World Cup tournament where people were like, oh my god, why is Hoyin everywhere? That's crazy, she's doing work. Hoyin stock value went up. It was always there, just most people are bad at the game. I don't know. Nilu, low base speed makes her harder to use in PvP, very good in PvE. All right, let's check this out. So we have the DPS, this is gonna be generic PvE, we'll cover this real quick. Listen, nothing's really gonna change here all that much. We've got the buffed version of Holden, cool. We got all of the same stuff as always. Finally, we have Lily in her own category, boys. We did it. Okay, we also have a solid Yeli in tier 0. We all know it now. Very flexible, same build, useful universally in PvE, basically no matter what it is that you're doing. Doki Doki is probably her worst one. I farm it just fine. I love it. We have Sustained Valerian as well as Ling Lo. All of this stuff is basically the same here. Control, Vice. Listen, if we're gonna put someone in tier 1, tier 0, for generic PvE, Vice, my boy. All right, I know it's probably because everything else, the farm content, he's kind of dog water in. Listen, you're going through Ethernet Rally, you're doing Hyperlink, Ember Trick, whatever the garbage event coming out, you'll find a use for him. I think he belongs in tier 0 here. Can't put anyone else up in tier 0 because, well, Lily, I mean, exists as a character. Sustain here, I've been using a lot of Fukyu. I like her a lot. I don't have any lattice investments in here, and I can kind of feel that. I think that she needs some lattice investment, some extra pushing, some extra heal percentage, a little bit of a barrier uptime. I like her a lot, but without high investment, I actually think someone like Green Sonya is probably better. You're going to be taking less damage if you have dupes. You're going to be healing people. The healing and the barriers and stuff that Fukyu has right off the bat just isn't enough as like a solo sustainer. She's more of like, I would almost put her in a support category and not really a sustain category. You can kind of feel it later on here. Mia, listen, Mia and Chiaki, we've always said that they're about the same, and then Hellkid is fine as well. As far as the rest of these go, I don't know, why any of this other stuff. I would maybe move Doki Doki up, possibly Obel as well. He's just really strong. Beotin's very strong, Kachi the Guard. And then we have Nilu here. Now, Nilu, vulnerable and speed buff with a little bit of healing for your highest attack character. She is fine. She is more of a support than a sustain unit. She has the same sort of problem as everyone tried to use Freya as a healer when Freya was released, which is the problem being, oh my god, I can't really heal anyone outside of my main DPS. If you're trying to use her as a solo healer, that is the problem that you will find. Aren't these in alphabetical order? Like, what are we doing here? Okay. So the problem is this only ever heals your highest attack character. It does heal them, okay, but the main thing is it turn pushes them. So you can use her sort of like a pseudo Lily of sorts, right? You're not pushing somebody continuously all the time. It's going to have a low skill cooldown. You can put her on something like Halloween, right? Or maybe Artisan if you so desire. I put her on Halloween. Her big S3 applies vulnerable, speed buff to the team, push your character with the highest attack, just like Lily would sort of want to be pushing your character with the highest attack with the twin trick, and healing them a little bit and increasing their turn meter by 20%. She's a very good character in PvE, but don't be fooled and think that she's going to solo heal your team. She can really only heal your DPS. She's kind of like this, just like Lily is with your DPS character. She's there to buff them and then give speed buff to the party for the most part. Now, outside of that, the rest of the stuff is fine. Let's take a look at the PvP tier list here. Now we have the buffed Rahu. Rahu did get buffed. A lot of the defense scalers got buffed. You'll notice that here as well. But Rahu also got a big buff from a bug fix where the bug would sometimes, even though he had enough wrath stacks, he wouldn't do his free like follow-up attack when someone on your turn took an action. And that actually could cost you games, funny enough, right? Your Rahu has the attacks. He's ready to follow up, do that big 8K, 9K, 10K swing. Kill their healer before they can revive in an RTA match or something, and you got the bug and it just didn't work and you lost the match because you lost all your tempo. That bug has been fixed, hopefully, okay? And it makes him even better than before, plus all of his multipliers went up, and he is a bruiser that also has a pretty significant source of defense down. Same thing with Holden here, still great. He's one of the bruiser greats out here in Tiamat. Amazing characters out here. Tiamat, you can either use her on a speedier build with Lighthouse to sort of get hit, interrupt, push up, taunt, or you can use her on everyone's favorite Amber build. I suspect that as we get more and more love from, we have her down in tier 1, Liliam. As far as right now, Liliam's HP lock gets removed from Amber proccing. So if you're not on Amber Tiamat and Liliam starts getting more and more popular, Amber Tiamat in a Bruiser v Bruiser matchup, if you're like first picking Tiamat or locking your Tiamat in third pick, if you get her there somehow, is a counter to that and is probably something that you should be building her on. As far as holding goes, just damage goes up. All of this stuff is fine. RC77, still, I know Revelation got nerfed, is a fantastic character and one of the best characters to actually to pair with Lilium. Faster, a little bit faster than you can make your Lilium 128, I think, plus 12 versus 125 plus 15. So you can make your RC77 a little bit faster. You can stun somebody. You can defense break everybody. The one person stunned, right? You kill somebody else with the Lilium S3 because you're on the fast nuker build. And then you can cycle back around. Revelation helps you out as well. And if you decide to, I guess with defense break, if you already have some sort of external attack buff in this setup, and Revelation did enough damage to chip them down, you know, 70%, 60%, your Lilium can do that S2 and finish someone off eventually later on. You can stun the rest of the team as well. So very good character there. And then Viper, I mean, if you're tank downing, source of damage mitigation is insane, as well as source of damage redirection with Tiamat, also insane there. We're going to skip over control and support for a second to look at Linglo. Linglo, I think, is honestly one of the best characters for a tank down style matchup, because when we go ahead and look at control and stuff, you see the crowd control everywhere. You got Kazuya the Reverie. You have Lilith, who, like, before the game launched, I said in the pick a selector thing, I said, do not pick this character for PvE. If you're coming back to select a character later on and you're into a PvP scenario, she will be the best control character that's a 5-star that you can pick from the selector banner. All 5 of you got to see the video. Wow, goddamn, am I good at foresight, right? So here we are again with Lilith tier 0, just an absolute monster of a character. Crowd control, extra turns, send him back to the Shadow Realm, turn push all the way back, do damage with bombs. It's amazing. Mio, insane tempo character. pushback, turnstile, has a freeze. You'll love to see it. Insane there. Obel here, listen, AoE stun if you're fast. Also, one of the reasons why he's up there is a good answer to some of the other buffers and support characters with his S2 that just rips off their immunity. Full strips them. Same thing with Heinrich here. Full strip, block. And Holden, full strip. Viper, full strip. All these full strip characters, like we talked about before the game came out, are insane because Linglo is insane in stopping a lot of these other non-stripping control characters. Same thing with Doki Doki and her stacks. It's all about the data stream stacks. The speed buff and the damage buffs up and the pushing and reduced cooldown are all insane. And then she also, on top of that, when you get Mola investment in her, Mola investment, I play Epic 7. When you get Lattice investment in her, getting bonus data stream stacks, this is data stream, whatever the ones that cleanse off the 3 debuffs once you get that Lattice ability, where one stack cleanses 3 things off, is insane. Lily, we don't need to talk about it. And then Tsukio Mi, same thing we talked about before the game came out. We're a month and a half in. Is basically Lily Light. S3, push up, attack buff, speed buff, boom, bop, gotcha, done. Also doubles as a control character. Defense, buff to yourself, very survivable defense skiller, silence everybody, get shit on. So very good there. Valerian, you can use her as a can't one-shot me with single target, which is going to be helpful with Lilium. Also, just has free buffs if you're cleaving. Just start with attack buff. I go first, doesn't matter, you die. Masia's here, sorry dude. The old Valerian, Lily, Masia combo. Good game, boys. And then Sonya, who I think will probably lose a little bit of value potentially as people understand the strengths of Lilium. Listen, I don't care if you're reviving your character when you're reviving them back with 4,000 health and they die to some random bullshit because I've hit them so many times in a bruiser v bruiser matchup with my Lilium S3. So all good characters there. Big mover here though is Mizuki Makoto. Now Makoto, baby, listen, Makoto is very strong. People were trying to use her. She got buffed. She's one of the buffed defense scalers. She is a lot faster now, 120 plus 12. Is she the fastest character in the game? No, but this is Holden tier speed basically now. And she, just like Holden, AoE dispel 2 buffs. We like that. And also apply defense buff to all allies. This is very powerful. And she also can do a very sizable amount of damage. And she gets this free retaliation where you can just counter, put on wound. So, you know, if they can't cleanse the wound you're putting on in a bruiser v bruiser matchup, they're not healing anything. So if you have Linglu, you have access to this character as well. Maybe you ban their Sonya. They just can't really heal anything anymore. They got maybe Mia or something. You're just wounding too many times. They're AoEing too much. They're doing their stuff. It doesn't matter to you. And you're just punching, dispelling more buffs and just kind of taking them out of the game in that regard. Exceptionally strong character. You can also put her on like a lighthouse build with Swift Rush and in Swift Smite, I think, right? On Bulwark. Get hit, push up. Oh no, I heal. Strip all your stuff off. Defense buff my team. You can't kill me anymore, right? Borgny, incredibly powerful. And then we have, obviously, everyone's seen it by now. Wow, we finally have Hoyen in tier 0.5. Oh my God, crazy. Dina's in here too. We'd love to see it. Silence for trying to counter passives. This is mainly because, listen, sustain. She's in the sustain. I don't know the control role here. I don't know why. I don't really like this one here. She's not really controlling a whole lot with her. I mean, I get it. She's got the random debuffs and stuff, right? But we're gonna put her in the control category. It's mainly for the Aqua Shield, right? Aqua Shield is very nice here because she's applying this over and over and over. And then, yeah, she's got dot silencing for forgetfulness, right? On her S1. Fine. Okay. Fine. But then we also have attack down and forgetfulness. Now, attack down, that's not really controlling. Controlling to me is I hard crowd control you. I'm stunning you. I'm slumbering you. I'm doing that all the time. This is got silence. So I don't know why she's in there. I'd put her more in like the support or sustain category in some regard out there. I think Veronica is also one of the best cheesers you can do with that lighthouse build right now. Push up. Oh my gosh. I cleanse all my debuffs off with someone like, I don't know, like Linglo or something in my team. I give my entire team immortality for 1 turn. Oh no, guess what? I made it 2 turns with Linglo because I extended it. Oh no, guess what? I'm on Codex of Magic. We're all immortal again. Good fucking luck. So very strong character there. And then finally, Chiaki the Echo, one of the characters I said everyone should level as an SR. Basically, amazing. Debuff, cleansing, spammer, pushes your team like madness. Very good character. I like to see her up here. Thank goodness someone paid attention. That's Chiaki the normal, dude. We don't need Chiaki the normal. We need Chiaki the Echo with all of her abilities. Just cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Ave Maria. Keep pushing. Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Ave Maria. Very strong in a lot of these like super aggressive debuff oriented teams. So those are all very good here. Tier 1 now. We have Lilium. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time explaining Lilium and why she's going to move up. You can go check out the other video that maybe came out yesterday or today. I don't know when these two videos are coming out, but she's basically got a fast White Fang build. She's got a count build that you can run in a bruiser style slow matchup in RTA, or she's got a lighthouse build. Those are going to be her 3 builds. And the reason why she's going to go to 0.5 and then probably eventually tier 0 is because she is just so flexible in how you can build her. All 3 of the builds are good when they're used appropriately in the strategy that you're developing as a PvP player. You can look at as many tier lists as you want, but every single tier list will tell you why those characters are up there. But you know, intrinsically, very basic, yeah, you're not going to be making a Masia, Viper, Valerian, Solence, Holden team and be like, yeah, dude, I have no fucking synergy with any of my characters. They're great. The reason why she's going to move up is she's going to have 3 giant big builds that are hyper synergistic with 3 very good playstyles, whether you're playing fast and tempo-y with revelation spam still. You're putting her as a fast character to snipe problematic other fast characters that can't crowd control her, as you're also playing a tank down build and ways to support her. If she kills one person that she kills the Messiah that's going to wipe out your tank down squad and then she dies, she's done the job, because if Messiah is the only thing that can finish off your tank down team, you'll take that 3v3 all damn day. So she's going to be insane in a lot of matchups up there, and she's just going to move up to tier 0 eventually. Rin the Unbowed, I still use her. I think she's at least tier 0.5. They don't have revelation on her. I do run like a weird like 300-ish revelation build on her from time to time. You can either do like a 300 build where you go revelation. I know revelation doesn't have swift smite or swift whatever swift smite, whatever the 12-piece swift set's called, the blue one. You run 4 of that still. You force it on there. You put on momentum 6-piece. And then you do the 6-piece speed plus attack set, and you can get to like 280, 290 speed that way. Oh no, that's the 300 speed build. Or you can do the one where you run 8-piece of Swift, 6-piece of Swift, and then you run, I can never remember the names in this set. You run the defense penetration 8-piece set on Revelation as well. That is another solid strategy to do, and Revelation just chunks some damage. It makes a nice equal spread of damage, even with that 30% mitigation nerf. I think she's very powerful in that regard, and they're both very good. I use the speed builds on both of those, and we've been having a good time there. The rest of these characters, big buffs up here. I think that maybe, yeah, Yang's probably fine probably where he belongs. He was just basically a Revelation spammer because Yang, your boy out here, has a 6-hit skill. He does do some nice stuff. He is also very good in a tempo-oriented team, but just because he's good in that team doesn't necessarily mean that he belongs higher in the tier list than they're putting him here, right? 6 hits, very good with Revelation. It is single target, but it's also turn meter pushing the crap out of your party, and it also allows you to just make sure your defense or dispelling all of those buffs as quickly as possible on a target. You have attack buff and crit rate for your whole party. It's fine. But if this gave like an extra turn so you could do Savage Howl into this, then we'd be cooking. But really, he's here for the S3, and that's kind of like he's a one and done. You know what? He's a one pump chump. Okay, he's just a one pump chump out there. Too slow in Nilu. Nilu just doesn't do enough. Speed buff plus vulnerable in PvP. I would actually rank her lower than tier 1 here. Kachi the Guard is fine. I would probably, Kachi the Guard's fine. I don't want to say he should be lower. We'll put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if Kachi the Guard was lower, just because we have AoE strip, AoE strip, AoE strip. AoE strip. I think that's it. But some of the best characters in the game right now, just strip. Strip. I don't care if you have a 9 million speed Kachi the Guard. If the character that's going after your Kachi the Guard before my crowd controller, AoE strips. A lot of the time where you're like, I Kachi the Guarded, and my opponent had Kazuya the Reverie, in Lily, in Mio, in Marvel, and I won the game. It's like, well, your opponent had Kazuya the Reverie, Lilith, Mio, and Marvel. And apparently, like, they're not on any Revel. Like, they're not going to win. Their draft was dog shit. Like, they didn't even have a damage dealer, right? So, not that he's a bad character, but I think there's just too many counters that are also just there's just too many characters that are really fucking good right now that just happen to also just kind of beat Kachi the Guard. So, he's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like down in tier. Can we make a tier 1.5 just for him? Same thing with Hellkid. Hellkid just got buffed, 127 speed, bigger barrier. We love to see it, but guess what? If you are getting absolutely smashed, right? Absolutely smashed by someone who's AoE stripping, does it really matter, right? So I'm not really all that quite sure. I think that's kind of fine where they are. Bayotin, though, very strong in a tank down team. Listen, I know I just talked about AoE strips and stuff, but in the scenarios where you kind of want to use your Bayotin, where you want to get her up, they might not have AoE strips, right? You're not trying to counter debuffers with your Bayotin. You're trying to counter dying with your Bayotin. So if you can, pick your Bayotin, she's kind of fine at tier 1 there. The rest of these characters, I don't really see anything. Everyone's gonna be like, why isn't Didding higher? Didding in PvP, kind of a dime a dozen. I don't think there's any sort of hidden characters that should be super strong. I know they buffed up like number 41 and stuff where they undid some of the nerfs. They're not dominating in the meta. They're not going to be doing anything crazy out there. I'm glad to see my girl Dina still up here as a revelation spammer. And it's just one of the best ways if you're out there cleaving. Defense break, vulnerable, and then her own special unique debuff. You're done, son. So if you want to see other stuff, this is the stuff. This is how we're tooling in PvP. Go check out the Lilium video. Talk a little bit more about that as well. And if you want to see other unique, funny content, I don't fucking know.